Hey, what's up you guys? So once again, I am making my way to the West Coast. By the time you guys see this, I will have already been in LA for a few days. And as usual, things are kind of getting down to the line in terms of my preparedness for this trip. I'm gonna be leaving in about 2 hours. I'm gonna turn this thrift haul into a thrift haul slash pack with me for LA. Basically, I'm just gonna be putting together outfits with the new pieces that I picked up this week and deciding whether or not I want to pack each piece. While I'm out there, I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot of thrifting, so I want to make sure not to overpack. You guys should also look forward to a few collaborations that I'm going to be doing with a couple of YouTubers while I'm out there, so I'm really excited about that. Anyway, let's get into the outfits. So the first place I went on my latest thrifting trip was Monk Vintage in Greenpoint. They have a really awesome policy that if you bring clothes to donate, you can get 25% off of your purchase in store. And since I had donated a while ago, I found I already had one of those coupons in my wallet. The first and only thing I ended up finding there was this amazing flannel jumpsuit. This is honestly the softest thing I've ever put on my body. I'm kind of wondering if it was meant to be pajamas. But anyway, since this jumpsuit is really oversized on me, I think it's a size large, I decided to belt it in at the waist with my 80s vintage belt that I got at Beacon's Closet. And then I elongated the look a little bit more by wearing my pointed toe ankle boots that are vintage Stuart Weitzman from Housing Works. Strangely enough, I actually kind of like how this jumpsuit looks unbelted as well. I don't usually go for oversized boxy silhouettes because I kind of have wide hips, so I prefer to emphasize my waist, but in this case, I thought it had a very contemporary, relaxed vibe, and it looks really good with a pair of sneakers or Doc Martens. This jumpsuit is definitely hitting the wide leg trend and the plaid trend, but dressing in more of a utilitarian way with jumpsuits or cargo pants in and of itself has been a trend for 2020. Next up, I have a pretty crazy outfit that you might have seen on my Instagram. I got a gift card to Awoke Vintage for Christmas, so I decided to go and blow the entire gift card plus more money than the actual value of the gift card. But that's okay, I was having a good thrifting day and that's not always the case. So these two pieces I'm gonna show you together because I kind of got them to wear together. First is this 100% silk green turtleneck. I've mentioned before how much I love tight turtlenecks as layering pieces in the winter. You can wear them by themselves, you can wear them under other shirts, or you could even wear them under dresses and jumpsuits. This pistachio green color was definitely a big trend for fall, winter 2019-2020. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of it this spring as well. And then the next piece is this amazing pair of 1980s jogger pants. These pants are so crazy, but they're so 80s in Miami, and as a person who loves the 80s and used to live in Miami, I figured I had to get them. I love that the pattern pairs more organic shapes like flowers and curved lines with this grid pattern. It reminds me of a more amped up version of the fun patterns that certain brands like Paloma Wool are putting out. And as I've said before, I feel like 2020 is definitely going to be a year of maximalism in fashion, so the bolder and crazier the better. When I wore these on my Instagram, I paired them with my short Doc Martens, but I wanted to elevate the look a little more just so you could see how you can dress up a pair of pants like this, so I threw them on with my Stuart Weitzman ankle boots. As an added bonus, I threw on my 80s leather jacket that I got at L Train Vintage. This is definitely one of my more out there looks, but I've gotten a lot of compliments on these pants since I bought them, so I think I made the right decision. Next up, I have this amazing vintage dress from Awoke Vintage. I'm not exactly sure what era this is from. I was thinking the 80s because it has a slight shoulder pad, but at the same time, it feels even more classic, almost like a 50s dress. I love how cinched it is at the waist and how the little cap sleeve with the shoulder pads really gives you that hourglass figure. But I found that when I paired this with some kitten heels or some nicer shoes, it felt a little bit dowdy. It did kind of look like I was wearing a 1950s costume. So to make it more contemporary and kind of edge it up a little bit, I decided to pair it with these black ankle-length crew socks and my platform wingtip Doc Martens. I took a lot of inspiration from Beth from B. Jones Style for this look because I've seen her do a lot of chunky, edgy boots with more of a midi-length skirt. I definitely think pleated midi-length skirts are going to be a big trend for 2020. I've been seeing them all over Instagram, so this dress kind of covers that trend as well. I also love that this is a floral dress, but it feels like a different take on a floral from what we've been seeing lately. It's almost like a Greco-Roman medallion kind of print. It definitely reminds me of Versace, but anyway, I thought this was such a flattering dress, and I'm very happy I picked it up. Next up is another Awoke vintage find. It's this two-piece kind of purpley brown plaid set. Like I said before, I think pleated midi skirts are going to be a big trend for 2020, and this one kind of incorporates the plaid trend a little bit too, without being too overtly schoolgirl-ish. This was one of the items that was outside on the $20 rack, which kind of surprised me because I thought it was so flattering and in such good condition, but apparently nobody wanted it. I love the little puff sleeves of the top and then the button detail across it. I'm definitely going to be packing this outfit on my trip because you could wear each piece separately or you could wear them together, so that's at least 3 outfits. And once again, to keep myself from looking too matronly or too much like I'm wearing a costume, I put on my chunky Doc Marten Oxfords and the same crew socks. Next up, I have a piece that I will definitely be packing, and it's this pair of Levi's jeans from Awoke Vintage. I probably said this before, but I think these are the most flattering jeans I've ever thrifted. These definitely surpass all previous finds. The woman working there told me that these are genuine 1970s jeans that just happen to be preserved really well, because they do look like they're in such good condition that they could have been brand new. But anyway, these jeans were such a surprise for me because usually Levi's are cut very straight, so I don't tend to recommend them for people like me who have a curvier figure, but I guess 1970s Levi's fit a little bit differently than the 90s ones that everyone's trying to thrift nowadays. The fabric does have a little bit of stretch to them, so that definitely helps. But anyway, I love that these are a wide leg silhouette that comes up really high on my waist, kind of like my Rachel Comey pants. To style them, I put on this cardigan from L Train Vintage that I just wore as a shirt and tucked up into my bra to show off the waistline of the pants, and then I put on my gold Rachel Comey heels. Obviously, denim trends evolve and change as the years go on, but I think that finding a pair that fits you really, really well and flatters your figure is always going to be somewhat in style. I also think we're going to be seeing a lot of mid-wash denim in 2020, since we've gone through the really dark wash phase in 2018 and then the really light wash in 2019. Moving on, I have 2 more pieces to show you guys, and the first is the one I'm wearing right now. I actually got this top at a different location of Awoke Vintage, and it was on the rack outside, so I paid less than $20 for it. This is definitely, as my friend Macy from Blazed and Glazed would say, a shimmy shake top. It's this gorgeous 80s puff sleeve shoulder top with a sort of Gucci inspired print. I knew I had to pick this one up because it would go so nicely with all of my gold jewelry, and it's also just a really fun, colorful print that would pair nicely with a lot of different things. I'm always a sucker for a print with a lot of different colors in it because it means it can match perfectly with a ton of different items in my wardrobe. To style this top, I wanted to pick up the green in one of the gemstones and do some crazy print mixing. So I threw on these camo cargo pants that I got on my last trip to LA, cinched them in with my gaudy gold belt that I got at Beacon's Closet, and threw on my Stuart Weitzman ankle boots. This is a perfect example of that 2020 maximalism I've been talking about, basically just layering on the accessories, layering on the prints and the patterns, and coming out with an outfit that somehow looks cohesive. Obviously, if this is a little too daring for you, you could pair black pants with this top. I just wanted to see where I could go with a little bit of crazy pattern mixing. I don't think I'm gonna be taking this top on the trip just because it's such a statement. I probably would only wear it once, but I'm looking forward to breaking it out once we make it to spring in New York City. The last piece I have to show you guys I got from the Beacon's Closet in Greenpoint, which you all know is my favorite thrift store. This is just a super soft acrylic 80s sweater with this purple and beige pattern. Sweaters are so hard for me to find because usually they're not that soft and not that flattering, but something about this thin acrylic knit made it a little less unflattering and a lot more comfortable. I wanted to style this sweater in a way that I envisioned myself wearing it in spring 2020, and that's with these really comfy pistachio green pull-on 80s pants that I got at the Goodwill outlet and my gold Rachel Comey heels. One way to make your wardrobe feel a little fresher and a little more trendy is to try pairing different colors that you wouldn't normally put together in the same outfit. Since I'm always working with these vintage inspired trends, I figured I would create this kind of mod looking color palette, especially since the pattern of the sweater is so geometric. I felt like I could almost evoke some mid-century modern vibes with this outfit. I also just felt like the light green made the purple pop a little bit more and gave it more of a contemporary twist. Don't think I'm gonna be bringing this sweater on my trip, but at least I'll be able to wear it while it's still cold in New York. Anyway, you guys, that's all I have for this week. Remember, if you want to see a sneak preview of any of these pieces before I put them in a video, you can follow me on Instagram. It's just HaleyWalker_. I usually post a couple of pictures when I'm going thrifting, and sometimes I'll style some of these pieces in an outfit before I get a chance to make a video. I also just love connecting with you guys on there. I always respond to all my messages, and I usually follow people back as well. Also, don't forget to check out my Depop. I just posted another pair of Doc Martens on there that you guys might be interested in. My username there is haleyinthedetails. Like I've said before, since I go thrifting so much, I end up putting a lot of it on Depop so that you guys can get your hands on it and my closet doesn't overflow. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you in the next one with an LA thrift haul.